So for NIFE 2023, we have not one or two, but we have three principal French horns with us, which is very special actually, because there aren't very many principal horns in the country right now. And I thought this would be a good chance to talk to you guys, which is the next generation of horn players, about possibly how you become a principal horn, what that entails, and the challenges and the highs and the lows of it. So should we start by just introducing ourselves? My name's Tom, and I'm not a principal horn, but I'll be asking the questions today. I'm a freelance French horn player. And then we have Tim Thorpe, who's principal horn of the BBC National Orchestra Wales. Tim, would you like to say a little bit?
Well, you've just introduced me for me, thanks very much. My name's Tim Thorpe, and I'm principal horn of the BBC National Orchestra Wales. And I've been there since 2006, so nearly 18 years now, and still enjoying it.
Where were you before the BBC Now?
So I was in the Philharmonia as third horn for a year, and before that I was at the Guildhall.
Nice. Elspeth?
I'm Elspeth Dutch, and I'm principal horn of the City of Birmingham Symphony Orchestra, and I've been there for nearly 21 years. And before that, I was at Guildhall. A bit of a pattern.
And I'm Tim Jackson. I'm principal horn of the Royal Liverpool Philharmonic Orchestra. I've been there since 2011. And before that, I had Tim's job at the Philharmonia for nearly 6 years. And before that, my first job was as third horn at the orchestra at Covent Garden at the Royal Opera House. So I've sort of got a little bit of experience of playing in opera orchestras as well as symphony orchestras, but it's symphony orchestra every time for me.
Very nice. So, should we open the floor to questions? And I think we're going to start with Arthur. So if I pass this to you, Arthur.
When was the moment that you decided that you'd like to become a professional horn player and pursue that as your career?
I started playing the horn when I was 9, and as probably most of you did the local youth orchestra. I was very lucky that the teacher that I ended up with to start with was the coach for the local youth orchestra, so went through a very similar system to what a lot of you guys will have done. But I had the very lucky stroke of fortune to be born in Lancashire, which meant that the Liverpool Phil used to come to Preston to do concerts every couple of weeks actually, and a wonderful lady who ran the Preston Friends of the Liverpool Phil organised to get me free tickets every Tuesday night that I wanted to go to concerts basically, and I went frequently, as often as I could basically, if it didn't clash with school, and enjoyed it, and it was all fine. It was just going to watch concerts. And then one very specific concert, I cannot tell you what was in the rest of the programme, I can't tell you who was conducting, I can't even tell you who the cello soloist was, but it was Shostakovich First Horn Concerto. And I can tell you that it was Claire Briggs single-handedly destroying the Liverpool Phil with this incredibly enormous, massive sound. And it was just the most exciting thing I'd ever heard. And it was an absolute instant, that is what I'm going to do. And the thing which for me is particularly cool is that that is the same orchestra now that I'm doing it in. And that feeling of having come full circle is really pretty amazing, actually. That is the orchestra that made me want to play in orchestras. And now when I play that piece, that's got, it's even just talking about that now, it's brought the hairs above my arms. It's really a very special piece for me, that one.
Shall I go next?
Please.
So I also started the horn when I was 9, and I started the violin when I was 6, so they kind of went alongside each other for a bit, and I didn't, I quickly realised the horn was way cooler than the violin. But I still carried on with both of them, and I did all the local youth orchestras and all that stuff and just really enjoyed it. But I don't think I was that good at thinking that far ahead as to what I wanted to do when I grew up. But then when I was about 16-ish, I suppose, I kind of started thinking a bit more about the future, and just got a real thing about the horn, much more than the violin. So I don't think there was a specific moment in the way that Tim's described. It was just sort of a general building up of wanting to do it. And I didn't know, really if it would work or not, but I just thought I've got to give it a try and see what happens. So I applied for every music college in the land just to see what would happen, and went from there, really. And, yeah. But I suppose just sort of your story about the Liverpool thing made me think about probably when I was about 17, I did the Mozart 13 Wind Serenade. Any of you guys played that? It's a really super cool piece. You should play it. And yeah, we did that with like our county, the players from the county youth orchestra, and the guy who conducted us organised for a minibus to take us to a late night prom where the CBSO played the Mozart Wind Serenade. And I remember 13 wind thing, yeah. And I remember like standing there and seeing this conductor come out and think, wow, he's got amazing hair and it's kind of blue and like it's amazing. I didn't really know who it was because I was a bit ignorant in those days. And then that of course was Simon Rattle. And they had this amazing lighting that just kind of made his amazing big hair look blue. And then a few years later it was like, whoa, those people that were sat on the stage that night, I'm playing with them now. So that was quite an amazing thing because I mean that concert was really like, it was probably like the best orchestral thing I'd ever seen. And so then a few years later to be playing with them was pretty cool. Yeah.
Nice. Well, I mean, I sort of have an amalgamation of both, really. There wasn't a single concert that I saw, but I think I saw the French horn being played when I was about 4 by someone. It was the Brahms Horn Trio, so that was violin, piano, French horn, at my sister's school. So she was 7, I was 4, and at the time I was just like, well, that's amazing. So the horn player demonstrated what a French horn does. You blow a raspberry down an instrument, and I was like, oh, that's amazing. And so then when I was 7, I was allowed to start playing the French horn. So and I was just pretty single-minded from then. I just really enjoyed it. Yeah, and then I always love things like films, and so film soundtracks and stuff like that I was obsessed with. So probably not so much the classical side of all the orchestral side, it was more the film music that I loved. And I was lucky then in my local youth orchestras, Hugh Seenan was the coach, and so he was film music obsessed. And so in breaks and things, he'd take me to the car and just be like, listen to this, listen to this, listen to this. And so I just became obsessed with it and really enjoyed doing courses and the social aspect of it all and all that sort of stuff. Yes, I think it was when I was about 15 that I was just like, oh, that's what I'll do. And I'm lucky enough to have ended up here.